Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And it seems that every now and again a little story comes up. It's not a very big piece, but it's just the way that this one is framed that I'm just thinking is delicious. And I hope that what I present you here is something you get your teeth into and enjoy. It is, of course, our dear old friend Fergus Ewing, the Speaker of Sense, the only reasonable man in the entire SNP government. Someone with a sense of humour, someone with a bit of wit and a bit of intelligence about him, and someone who is on the right side of the argument on this particular case. And the argument, of course, is the Gender Recognition Act. He is saying that it should not be appealed. He says to appeal a case that you've already lost would be like trying to rerun Culloden. And he's right. So we'll take a look at what he's saying and how he's saying it. And he's got a few people that back him, of course, because it is the right thing to do. Drop it. Sod the Greens. They can walk if they want, but they won't walk. But good old Fergus, he comes out and he just nails it in one. But of course he is the MSP for Culloden, I believe, isn't he? Anyway, we'll take a look, see what's going on. Here goes. So Fergus Ewing said the gender appeal would be like choosing to rerun Culloden. The Nat MSP compared the gender court defeat to the brutal defeat of the Scottish Army at the hands of the British government forces. I go to Inverness quite a lot, and the number of times you come up that road and there's a big sign saying Culloden, like a mile and a half that way or whatever it is. And every time I went up there, I went, oh, I must go and see that. Oh, I'd love to go and see that. Oh, go and see that. So I'm up there one time, and I'm with friends and that. And I mention it, and he says to me, oh, don't bother. He says, you'll be very disappointed. I went, well, no, it's a big historic battleground and all that. We'll go up there and have a look. He said, no, he says, don't. It's really, really disappointing. I went, you sure? He went, yeah, I'll go anyway. So he said, okay. He said, look, we'll go. So we went up there, and you know what? I was really disappointed. It's just a field. I mean, yeah, they've got this little visitor centre. If anyone hasn't been, they've got this visitor centre you go around. There's not really a lot in it, but it sort of goes, sort of, pictures and images of the battle. Obviously, not pictures, but, people have painted it subsequently and whatever. And then there's like bits of armour and there's a kilt that was worn and there's... But whatever you're expecting, it isn't that. It's just an empty field. And there's nothing there at all if you go looking, because the archaeologists have been all over it for years. They've dragged everything out. There's nothing left of the battle. I mean, you go up there, I don't know what you're expecting to see. Hordes of bekilted Highlanders charging at redcoats with their pointy hats and that. No, it's just... There was me, a bloke walking, me and my friend, and a bloke walking his dog about half a mile away, and then a rather bored youth in the visitor centre. That was it. So, yeah, go if you want, but you'll be disappointed. Anyway, getting back to this interesting tangent, Dave. Anyway, getting back into it. Fergus Ewing has become the latest SNP MSP to speak out against a move to appeal the Gender Bill court ruling, saying it would be like losing the Battle of Culloden twice, because it's already been lost once. And then, of course, there was the court case the other day, twice. And now, if you go again, you'd be losing it for the third time. The man is right on it, isn't he? Anyway, the Nat MSP backed calls from his party colleague, Ash Regan. Former party colleague, I can't read, reading is hard. Former party colleague, Ash Regan, who said the Scottish Government must not take the gender reform bill to the Supreme Court. It comes amid tensions and tense speculation over what the Grand Mufti will decide to do in light of the bill's unpopularity and his partnership with the Scottish Greens. Now, of course, the Greens are pushing him. They are saying that he needs to take this to the Supreme Court. But even he must know that it will be lost, because the only appeal they've got is not against the law itself, but against the right of Alistair Jack to apply Section 35 to it. And the Supreme Court of Scotland, effectively, the Court of Session, Scotland's highest court, said that he does. So does he think that the Supreme Court is going to overturn that? Does he really want a foreign court, in his eyes, to overrule Scotland's highest court on a point of order, on a law that he doesn't even want? It seems very weird, but this is because old Kendall can't do it. He can't risk the Greens. The Greens won't walk. too well set with their wages. Thank you very much. Anyway, Mr. Ewing said there was not a cat's chance in hell of winning this case, and even less of winning the appeal. He said not only would it waste taxpayers' cash, but it would be the wrong battleground to fight Westminster. He said it's like choosing to rerun Culloden using the same losing tactics. The Battle of Culloden was, for the viewers who don't know, and I know most of you will, but for the ones who don't, the Battle of Culloden was the final confrontation between the Scottish Jacobite Rising of 1745 that took place in Mr. Ewing's Inverness constituency. I said he was the MSP for Culloden. The Jacobite army, that should have a capital J, sometimes known as the Highland Army, was defeated by a British government force who were better equipped and better trained under Marshal Wade, I believe. And I think the victory earned an extra verse in the national anthem, which is why I think the verse should be removed, but I do understand why some Scots are very averse to us singing it. Anyway, the Scottish Government has yet to announce what route they will take. Social Justice Secretary Shirley Ann Somerville was accused of a cop-out when she refused to give any indication of the government's stance. She used live legal proceedings as an excuse. She was running scared. She daren't answer the question because she knows. But in actual fact, it's not live legal proceedings. It is not, because the legal proceedings have finished and there is no current legal proceedings going on. So she's lying. Gosh darn it. Who'd have thought the SNP would be caught out in yet more lies? She said, until ministers make a decision, these are still live legal proceedings, and it restricts what I say. No, it doesn't, you lying two-faced liar. Stop lying, you liar. Alistair Jack MP has warned that a Supreme Court case would cost the taxpayers £2 million. It would cost the Scottish taxpayers £2 million, because he's already said that if it goes to appeal, he's sending the legal bill to the Scottish Government. So, you need to wonder about this one. A number of nationalist MSPs and MPs have already requested that the government walk away from legal action, including the former leadership contender Kate Forbes and the veteran MP Pete Wishart. They're all saying it. All of them are saying it. And they're saying the only reason it's even being considered is because of the coward in the big chair who cannot rule a minority government because he hasn't got the cojones to do it. And he thinks that if he doesn't take it to the Supreme Court, the Greens will walk. But let me tell you, they won't. They won't walk. There's no way that they will ever walk away from power. They like it too much. They like the nice warm feeling of a huge ministerial salary as well. But well done, Fergus. You've nailed it again. I do admire that man. He's one of the very few good uns, I think. And certainly a little gem that needs to be polished. Anyway, I shall round off there. We shall come up and we shall finish the video. As another little aside, I once got the ferry from Mallaig to Skye, and halfway across I sang the Skye boat song to my wife. She looked at me and said, "You only took this ferry so you could sing that song, didn't you?" And I went, "Yeah." I'm like that. I'm full of crap like that. I really am. But of course that was where old Bonnie Prince Charlie ran away after Culloden, wasn't it? Anyway, I shall round off there. It's a good one. I do like Fergus. I think he's worth his weight in gold, really, isn't he? And I think he's nailed this one. Don't fight it. You're going to lose. It's a waste. For heaven's sake, pick your battlegrounds. This isn't it. If this is your battleground, then this, of course, is Culloden. And away you go. Hey-ho. It is what it is. Thanks very much, Fergus. You're a gem. Till next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. Bye.